You're listening to Active Vegetarian, episode 71. Today I have the pleasure of chatting with Michelle Roots, a personal trainer, business owner, and new mom from here in Vancouver BC. Michelle is inundated with dedication and motivation. As a trainer and now a new mom, she's here to talk about the importance of staying healthy and active during pregnancy, how to balance it all during postpartum, and she even lets you in on how she stays motivated. So if you're thinking of starting a family, maybe you're a new mom, or even have toddlers and are just trying to find that time and that balance of family life and your own health, stay tuned. You won't want to miss this one. Hello and welcome to the Active Vegetarian Show, the plant-based eater's guide to fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle. To discover how to fit healthy plant-based eating into your life and for practical fitness advice, visit us at activevegetarian.com. We're your hosts, Nikki and Susanna, so let's get started. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Michelle.
No problem. Thanks for having us. It's beautiful here. I'm in love with your apartment.
Thank you. The first time I actually met you and the last time I saw you was at an Impact Magazine event where you were being acknowledged as one of Canada's top trainer. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. I was very shocked, but definitely was excited about that. And it was awesome meeting you guys.
So tell us a little bit about how you became Canada's top trainer and how you got into the fitness field in general.
Well, I grew up as an athlete my whole life. So playing soccer since I was 4, moved into basketball and soccer. And then I was that kid in high school. I played every sport possible. The PE teachers were chasing me down the hallway like, oh, we need someone for speed walking at the track meet today. You have to do it. Speed walking, what? But they were like, I was just an athlete. I had 2 brothers growing up, so I was just always active. And then just from there, moved into working towards my kinesiology degree, doing athletic therapy. And then I was playing basketball on a college scholarship. So I went to University of Winnipeg, so pursued my degree as well as playing basketball. But college was the first time I ever stepped foot in a weight room, which was crazy because now knowing what I know now of how to train your body, and I work with athletes, and I just like, imagine if I would have done this when I was growing up. Like, I always joke now, I'm like, I'm in the best shape of my life now just for Instagram, really. You know, like now that I call myself a retired athlete. But so that's kind of stepping foot in the weight room and realizing like learning about it in school at the same time and then putting it into action on the basketball court or just in the gym and feeling myself getting stronger. I really just had an interest in it. So of course, like finishing my degree, I still remember moving back home. I was on the plane flying home from Winnipeg, done my schooling, and now it's kind of like, now what do you do with your life, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm starting my own business. One day I'm going to have my own gym. I was doodling logos. I still am kicking myself for not keeping these napkins. On the plane home, I was like, I'm going to name my business Core Conditioning, and I was doodling little logos, and I came home and I just hit the ground running. So yeah, I just kept pursuing more and more education about it. I was training friends and family for super cheap or free just to learn more.
Get experience.
Yeah, just to get experience and see what works, what doesn't, and just continuing to learn more, get certifications, learn more about nutrition. And yeah, now we're 10 years later and I have my own gym.
That's amazing.
And yeah, so that's kind of, it's always been a passion of mine to, just because I know how much having sports in my life affected me mentally, and like I feel like I'm physically strong, mentally strong, and having teammates and all that kind of stuff. And then yeah, just moving right into the fitness world, like it's full passion for me. I love it.
That's great. And you've grown your business to the point where you have trainers working under you now as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And what do you see? Do you want to grow it even further from here?
Where I see right now, always wanting to grow. Now I'm to the point where, you know, I'm happy with the way my business is going and just continuing finding ways to affect more and more lives. So I'm doing a lot of online training now. And with my trainers working for me, I have a little bit more free time to expand my reach, really.
That's great.
Because I feel like there's only so many people in my area of my gym that I can affect. So now let's try and hit more people throughout the world. So I'm really focusing on building my online training, which has been going really, really well. And yeah, I just want to help as many people as I can.
That's kind of our motto. Well, that is our motto too, right? To help as many people as we can. So it's the internet is a great platform for that. We can reach so many people.
Oh, 100%.
So it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, I guess things have changed for you a little bit. You have a son now, Jackson.
Yes, I do. Little Jackson.
How old is he now?
So he just turned 7 months 2 weeks ago.
And how has that changed for you? Because, being active before having a child and now having a child, and you're really good at promoting staying active with a child in your life. And why is it so important to you, I guess?
Wow, it's one huge life change, but something I was completely ready for. I tell everyone that if this would have happened maybe 2 years ago, oh gosh, I don't even know, my life would have been in shambles. But it happened at the right time. I was at the point where it was the first time when I went on what you could call mat leave. For self-employed people, they'll understand that you don't get mat leave.
Right.
But it was my first time ever leaving my business in the hands of my trainers. And just, they did an amazing job. If they ever listen to this, you guys are amazing. And really just keeping active throughout my entire pregnancy and then continuing postpartum has been a game changer for me. I think also what I try and preach through my social media throughout my whole pregnancy, as well as, in postpartum now, is just keeping that healthy, balanced lifestyle. So that's kind of what I always preach to people is, even through my pregnancy, I had clients coming into the gym and they were like, come on, just tell me, please, you're eating cheeseburgers and you're craving donuts and you're eating all this stuff. Like, please tell me you're doing that. And I just said, you know what? Like, once in a while, yeah, but at the same time, my body's craving healthy food.
If that's how you started, I think it's going to continue to want those things.
Totally.
Right?
Well, not going to lie, the first 3 months when I was trying to hide it, like for some reason my body wanted everything opposite of that. So bread and butter was a kicker for me, which was crazy. Like I remember my first appointment with my midwife, and she was like, okay, you're pregnant, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, so what should I be eating? Like, don't worry, I'm super healthy. And this is what I eat. And I was told, she goes, just survive. I'm like, no, like for real. And she goes, just survive your first 3 months. Like, if you want McDonald's, eat McDonald's. And I was like, what are you talking about? I would never do that. And my husband's like, yes. And then I realized a week later why she said that. So either way, got through those first 3 months. And then after that, it was just, all I wanted was fresh fruit and vegetables. And it's like my body just craved that. And my mentality was, I'm building a human. When better time to eat healthy? Anything that I'm putting in my body is going straight to this human I'm building, right? So the nutrition part was good. Yeah, not gonna lie, I did have a few donuts and cookies and stuff, but I also was in the mentality of, when else in my life am I ever gonna do this? And guilt-free. And then I had my husband being like, come on, give my son a donut. My son wants a donut. I'm like, okay, fine. But like I say, all about healthy balance and just maintaining active. Like, I think I was very lucky. I had a really good pregnancy. I felt great the whole time. I worked right up until I was training clients, teaching classes up until I think 3 weeks before I had them.
That's amazing. That was going to be my next question. When you stopped training before you actually
a lot, it was almost incredible. Like my clients were like, so when are you going to stop? Like, I think you should stop demonstrating all these hard pull-ups and all these hard exercises for us. But I just felt so good.
If your body's used to it and it wants that, then
totally. I felt, and I knew my limit. So, there were certain exercises I was still doing deadlifts, but I was much lighter weight than I normally would. And I was going a bit of a higher rep range. Cause it felt good. Like, it just, for me mentally, it felt great because of course you're now fairly large in the stomach area. So, and it's just felt good to keep my body moving. I did the grouse grind when I was just entered my 3rd trimester, and I did the grouse grind and I felt great.
Any pregnant women out there listening who were active before, it's okay to stay active.
It is, and that's one thing I kept asking my midwife. I'm okay, right? She said, you know your body better than me. Listen to your body, listen to your body.
And it sounds like you were quite in tune with the body, right?
100%.
With your body and what it wanted.
If anything ever felt wrong or didn't feel good, I stopped. I didn't run, I stopped doing stuff, but so I was walking fast. That was my cardio, but the weightlifting is key. The strength training, and even when it came down to pushing that baby out, I got him out in 3 pushes.
Wow.
2.5 days of labor, but when it came to push, my quote was literally, the midwife says, okay, it's time, you're gonna push. And I said, I've been training my whole life for this. Tell me which muscles to use. And I got this. And she was like, what? And I could still feel my core muscles, and I felt strong at that situation. Like, especially going through 2.5 days of labor, I still felt mentally strong, and I guess I was excited to test my strength. Like, I'm weird like that. Like,
but I think as a woman, that is your true test.
Totally,
right?
Yeah. Like I've literally been working so hard. Like, I've been training my whole life. My company named Core Conditioning. Like, this is the ultimate test of my core muscles, right? So, yeah, and then just being able to recover right after. The ladies, if you're listening and either you're thinking about having a baby, my highest recommendation would be start training now before you get pregnant. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about like getting pregnant. Oh no, now I don't want to gain too much weight. So, think about just start to implement little things, movement into your life, healthy eating and stuff with that healthy balance. That would be my,
That's
and then just
great
continue
advice.
that through.
Yeah. And what about moms who maybe have had a child and were active before and still want to stay active, but it's quite overwhelming. It's a time thing as well, because obviously now you have a little one and your time is being occupied, and you're working with them. So what advice would you give them of how to incorporate and to stay moving and stay active through postpartum as well?
I would say, one, most importantly, take your time to recover. Don't rush back into something. Don't rush back into a weight loss, or everyone uses these terms snap back and bounce back, which I can't stand. Like, it always seems like everyone's trying to lose their baby weight right away. My biggest thing was, I'm never going to get this time back with my baby, and I'm not sleeping at all. So I'm not going to rush back into anything, right? That's my number one thing. And then once you feel ready, your doctor says you're good to go, is just start adding movement into your day. That's one thing I found. Like, I even own a gym, and I found it hard to find time. I still find it hard to find time to go down to my gym. So it's involving Jackson into my workouts.
And that's great, because through your social media, I love seeing when you're posting things like that, because I think it is so powerful that you're teaching women that they can include their child. And it's even getting outside and walking with the child and connecting with them, so you can still have that connection.
Oh, totally.
And that movement.
The kids love it. Like, Jackson, he's been, in his carrier. I had him in his stroller. Like, I think he was 4 days old, and the first time Mama needed to get out of the house, we strapped him in his stroller and we were gone. We were outside, but even like during the winter, because I had him in October, so it was winter months, I would put him in his carrier, and I live in a condo building 5 stories up, and we would walk the stairs up and down, and I just put my timer on. I'm walking for 20 to 30 minutes, and he was content. He's looking around, and I'm talking to him while we're walking, and then I come inside, and I would put him in one of his little playthings, or lay him down on a mat, and I'm doing push-ups and stuff on the living room floor. Sometimes I was lucky and he would fall asleep while we were walking the stairs, which was perfect. Put him down for his nap, and then I could continue my workout. But
he was probably used to this, right? Because when you were active, he's used to this moving around.
It's funny, like this kid will sleep through anything. Nothing wakes him up. He loves movement. He loves being outside.
It's a loud gym that he lived in.
Yeah, he was standing next to a speaker his whole pregnancy and heard me, 10 more seconds, keep going, 5 more, so yeah, like, I think that's just one thing I've found is, even just, if you're home with a baby all day, say your baby woke up at 4 a.m, then your baby woke up at 6 a.m, and then it's mentally very draining on you as a mother. You can easily fall into bad habits of just not showering that day, or, and it's just because the day just flies by. You fed them, change the diaper, nap time, wakes up, feed them, change the diaper, nap time, and then before you know it, it's 6 o'clock. So I find I have a plan the day before. I'm like, okay, I know the schedule based on whatever time he wakes up. We're working out tomorrow. It's happening. There's no questions asked. It's happening. So in my mind, my motivation for doing it is I know how much better I'm going to feel the rest of the day. And you're doing something for yourself, where we love this little baby to bits, and I can see how you don't care about anything else in the world.
Right.
But making sure this little guy's okay, but he is going to be okay, and just bring him with you.
And I think he'll be better if you're taking care of yourself.
Totally.
And I think that's what it comes down to, is dedicating and making sure you find the time for you. And I'm not a mother, but I know it can be challenging, but you obviously are proof that it's important and that you can find the time. And it doesn't matter how long it is, just make sure that you find that time.
Oh, totally. And even if it's 10 minutes, it's better than nothing. Like this morning, I knew I had a packed day. We were up, and it was a beautiful morning, and 7 o'clock, I put him in a stroller. I'd fed him. He was good to go. I put him in a stroller and we went for a walk outside, 45 minutes. You know, and it just, I felt amazing after it. It was just to get outside. The world was like quiet, you know, and he felt great and he went right to sleep when we got home. You know, he went down for his nap. So
and it's just, again, that connection with him and that time with him, you're getting both at once, right?
Totally.
So,
like, yeah, it's great to see through their eyes, like when he's in his carrier, just exploring the world, because you think they're seeing cars for the first time and trees and like all this stuff. And it's, I don't know, a workout is way more exciting and less boring when you have your kid along with you, right? You have a little buddy. Like I call him my sidekick. And even if I have time to go down to my gym, whether it's my condo gym or my own gym, you know, he's laying on it. Well, not anymore. He's crawling now. So that game has changed.
I was going to say, that's going to change things. We have clients with children and it changes.
So now he's more mobile. But before I could lay him on a mat and I was weightlifting around him and he literally would just watch me. Like I posted videos of that too. And like, you know, he's just like hanging out, just watching what I'm doing. And, you know,
being
even
inspired.
if it was a 20-minute workout, if I had to stop and feed him in the middle of the workout, you just do what you have to do.
So when it comes to health and fitness, is there anything that you don't like to do, but you still make yourself do it?
I would say like, I'm not a fan of cardio. I don't really do a lot of cardio, but I do it. Well, now it's a lot more fun. If I'm going to do cardio, it's bringing Jackson along with me. I am a weightlifting kind of girl. That's just how my body adapts well. I really like to strength train with like interval cardio. But other than that, like any time of fitness, I'm all about it. Anybody who knows me or talks to me, they're like, she's crazy. You know, she enjoys struggling and pain and sweat. And you know, like that's just...
You're like Susanna. She's the same. She loves to just like do everything and anything.
Yeah, I like trying new things or I wouldn't say there's anything I necessarily hate other than pull-ups. I love them but hate them. We have a love-hate relationship because I want to do better, but
I think any woman, right? It's it's a discouraging I think exercise, because it's like, I think we look at men and we're like, how do you do it?
It's jump just on the bar and they can do it like it's nothing, you know. It's one of those things where I'm getting better, but
that's great, right? And we always have things to work towards.
100%. It's a good goal, and like it's just one of those things. You're like, but why? I can do everything else. But so if I had to say I'd pick one thing I hate, it's those. But I do them all the time because it's a love-hate relationship. Because now I'm like determined.
It sounds like you have so much motivation under you, which is amazing, and just self-created motivation. Advice for women out there that don't have much motivation and they want to, maybe even they weren't active before, or they were active before but don't have that drive and that motivation anymore. Maybe they lose it after having a child, or they just need it now. They realize, I need to change my body. I want to make it healthier for this child. How can I do it? What's your advice for somebody starting or that needs to get back into it?
I would say my starting, like what I tell everybody who's looking to start any kind of fitness journey or anything is, one, it's not an all or nothing. It's ease your body into it. So most importantly, find something you enjoy doing. Finding that motivation to actually start is, you have to find it within you. You can't rely on anybody else. You can't rely on your husband to get you out of the house. You can't rely on anyone. It has to come within you, and it has to be for the reason other than losing weight.
Yes.
Weight loss will come. If you do everything else, weight loss will come. The reason has to be within you. And after you find that reason, finding something you enjoy doing and easing your body into it is the key. I would say starting block is, like I say, tomorrow morning, take your baby and go for a walk. And that's, you know, you've done something for yourself that day. And then all comes hand in hand. Start by eating a healthy breakfast. If the rest of the day goes out the window, at least you've done something, and then you build on those habits. Drink more water, you know, start to do things that will make you feel better, and the better you feel, the more you'll want to do it.
It's this momentum you start, right?
100%.
Otherwise, and that's what we did with our coaching as well, because we truly believe in like that building block mentality, because otherwise we throw everything at once. Like, I'm going to exercise tomorrow, I'm going to eat healthy, and then that's where we just get overwhelmed and we throw everything off and we just give up.
Yeah.
And so I think it is very important, like you said, just start with one thing. Even if it's getting outside to walk with the baby, and even if it's 10 minutes, you still got out and you made that step. So maybe tomorrow it's going to be 15 minutes.
I would also recommend, if you have had a baby and you either were or weren't active, and you're looking to start getting back into fitness and strengthening post-baby, is either hire a professional or even an online coach or anybody to help you get started. Like, I'm a firm believer of rebuilding that pelvic floor, rebuilding your core muscles before you start the next journey. Just building that solid foundation. And even if you're not aware of how to do that, there's lots of programs online, even hiring, if you can't afford a personal trainer, even just booking one session with a trainer, get an assessment and get a program that they'll give you a program to do on your own at home. Those are exercises you can do on your floor, either when you get home from your walk or after the baby's gone to bed. That's something that you can do for yourself. And I would say that's just the best way to start to build your foundation, and then you build on that foundation.
And is this something that you offer through your online coaching?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's 2 ladies right now I'm training who are pregnant through my online coaching.
Great.
Helping them through their pregnancy to stay strong, and I'm hoping they'll stay on, and I'd love to help them through their postpartum too.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So speaking of your online coaching and business, where is the best place that our listeners can reach you?
I would say either michelleroots.com is the best place, or really on Instagram. I'm on all other social media platforms, but I would say Instagram's probably my most active, and there's links to everything else. But you'll find me on Instagram at Core Condition, CoreCondition, at Core Condition. But yeah, or michelleroots.com.
And we'll put some links to that in our description of this podcast, as well as on the post for our site at activevegetarian.com. Well, thank you for joining me, and thank you for all this wonderful information. I am sure that our listeners are going to really reap tons of benefits from it.
No problem. Thanks so much for having me. It's awesome.
Or motivate them, I think, at least to get out there and get some movement in. That's wonderful.
Movement. A body in motion stays in motion, guys.
Love it. Good work.
High five.
Thank you for listening to the Active Vegetarian Show, the plant-based eater's guide to fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle. For more information, including recipes, nutritional advice, fitness tips, and coaching, please stop by activevegetarian.com. Until then, live active, live healthy, and enjoy life.